Alright, good morning everyone. Oh, sorry. I am not doing super well today. um, I had a pretty rough night. On top of the cough that I usually have, I do have some issues with my stomach. And my stomach acid is entirely too strong. So what that ends up meaning is if I lay down the wrong way and my stomach acid acts up, I get something similar to heartburn. It's like pretty severe acid reflux, and I basically burn my vocal cords and throat. So not pleasant, and unfortunately that happened last night. So I'm in kind of rough shape. But I did want to just do what I can here, because I've completely burned through my supply of already done videos. There were, not that long ago, a surplus of about 2 episodes that I had stocked up for YouTube, and that has vanished now. Well, hello, Cheeky. How are you doing? I was just talking about how I am not in great shape, but I'm doing my best to get by. Thank you very much for asking. How are you doing this fine day? Assuming it's a fine day and not kind of dark and very snowy for you, like it is here. You're doing quite well. Thank you very much. I was just talking about how, on top of my usual problems, which you know are pretty plentiful as far as the coughing goes, I have a secondary condition, which is extremely overactive stomach acid, that makes it so that if I lie down in the wrong way, I end up having my throat bathed in stomach acid. So I wake up feeling very, very bad. It is not a pleasant scenario. But I'm doing my best to get by, and I hope I can still be entertaining today anyway. Oh no, where did... Get back up here. Nah. That is not the button that I pushed. Why can't I... Oh, that's why. Uh-oh. My fingers are a little bit off for where I want the controls to be today. Anyway, do you have any plans for today, Cheeky? You doing anything fun and exciting, or just hanging out with me again? I kind of assume a lot of people have plans to go spend time with family around this time of year, but I never know how many are actually carrying through with that, or if it's even happening because of various reasons. Just hanging out with you? Well, I always appreciate your company. Thank you for being here. What we're doing today is... Oh, we're gonna try and do the Goron Temple, but before I get that done, I do need to light this area up a little bit more. I hate how dark it is down here. And then we'll go do the temple. And, oops, we'll set up for... Maybe we'll do the air temple next, because I really like that boss. And we can go do some of the... Excuse me, hold on. Cool. We can go do some of the boss refights after. There should be a really easy way to get a bunch of battery because of it. Yeah. Did you like my go live message today, by the way? I don't even listen to Adele, but I know enough about her songs to think that was a hilarious way to start the stream. Make a tank, go rolling in the depths. Can't sing it, because I'm not rolling in the depths. Oh no, I said I can't sing it, and I'd set fire to the rain before I start with Adele. Awesome, thank you. Also, I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much by chatting with you while you're here. It's kind of a fine balance between wanting to interact with people and letting you just sit and relax and enjoy the stream. And I always feel like you might be one of the people that wants to just kind of chill out and relax rather than chatting. So hopefully I'm not causing you too much grief by not shutting up. Alright, cool. I'm glad to hear. So, I still have basically just the usual point of information about you for your game systems. Holy cow. My throat is in rough shape today. Does the Xbox One play like Xbox 360 games, or was it the one where they started doing downloads only? Because I have been wondering about that. I'm not really an Xbox gamer, but I do have an Xbox 360. You're pretty sure it can play 360 games? Cool, okay. I take it you haven't tried any then. I don't have a lot of them, but there are a few that I did pick up, including one of my favorite JRPGs right now, which is Tales of Vesperia. I don't know if you've ever played that, but Tales has a pretty fond place in my heart, because it started out, or it was really my first like anime-style JRPG, when I picked up Tales of Symphonia back in the day for the Nintendo GameCube. And that was pretty awesome. I've ended up picking it up a couple more times actually for different systems. I think I've got the PS3 version, maybe the PS4 version, which was important because for whatever reason they decided to cut like a whole bunch of content from the GameCube version. It's missing like an entire character, and you can't do any of the special moves, and really silly things. Which I guess if you're planning a re-release means you get a lot more money, but it's still kind of annoying. And then in my youthful indiscretion and lack of knowledge, I also have Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball, or Dead or Alive 2 Extreme Beach Volleyball. Had no idea what I was getting into with that. I just picked it up secondhand at a pawn shop. It's got a lot of interesting features. Pretty stupid stuff to make a half-finished game and then add the rest as a re-release. Yeah. Well, the game was finished. They just left out a bunch of content for no reason. Like, there was, there's a whole other character, like I said. At least I think it was that one. It might actually have been Vesperia that they did that to. But there's a whole other character in Vesperia. She's like a little blonde, lolly pirate captain, I think. That she's not in the game at all. It's not even like they removed the ability to play her for some reason. She's just not there. Which means they stripped an entire chunk of content that we never get a chance to enjoy now. And that's kind of frustrating. much as I do like the series, that was a silly move on the localizer part. What do we have here? Let's go southeast, I guess. There it is. If you don't add a pirate character to an RPG, you're doing it wrong. That's true. That's true. I mean, it seems like the staples for bad guy characters, or the staple tropes for any fantasy RPG, are either pirates, ninja, or bandits. And if you don't have at least one or two of those, like, just what are you doing with your fantasy? You gotta have something to fight. Ooh. I am not on fire. I can switch back to a little bit more of this. Oops, I'm on fire again. Actually, speaking of, I think I might have asked the other day and gotten a negative response, but are you a fan of anime as well, Cheeky, or is that not something you're into? Oh, come on. Wow, it is really hot up here. I dabble, but I don't really watch it regularly. That's fine. Any particular thing that you do like? For example, when my nephew was over the other day, I showed him some of the more classic anime, or what's considered the best anime to date, which is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. We didn't get through it all, but it was pretty cool showing him that. Which, come to think of it, I was a bit surprised with Brotherhood, because I hadn't watched the first, like, 5 or 10 episodes, I guess. Pretty much the basic stuff like Pokemon. That's fair, that's fair. But I was a bit surprised by Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. They abridged the first chapters into very short episodes, which is unfortunate because it stripped out quite a bit of personality in the process. Like, the whole sub-arc with Rose was just... I mean, it was kind of there, but it all ended within an episode. We didn't get to see anything with Cornello except for the single fight. And they didn't do the fun thing where they made the statue move to smash him in the face. Which was a little disappointing, but I can always show him the original anime later. But he did finally learn where the Nina meme comes from. You know that one where it's got the dog and she's like, Eduardo, Nietzsche. The most traumatizing scene in anime for almost every viewer. It was nice getting to spread the trauma. Oh. Let's see here. Whoop. Ouch. Oh, that's unfortunate. I'm gonna throw a light bloom on this. I'm tired of not seeing. There we go. Whee! Oh, I didn't mention it today, but I am, if I'm healthy enough, planning on doing a... I want to call it a marathon stream tomorrow, but it's really just going to be an as much as I can stream because of my health. I can't really commit to a marathon. But it's going to be a mental health stream, so for people that for whatever reason suffer around this time of year and just can't really, don't want to deal with being alone around this time of year for whatever reason, tomorrow is just going to be another day, and it's going to be a place people can come hang out, but it's not expected by any means. So, like, I hope anybody that's watching this, or anybody that thinks they're expected to come tomorrow, or that'll be lonely without you, like, don't worry about that at all. It is purely, if you have nowhere else to be, and you don't want to think tomorrow, you can come hang out with me. I will be here. That's really the only plug for it I'm going to do today, but I did want to mention it just in case. Nephew is not going to show up today, come to think of it. He's going to snowboard for the next couple of days, which is pretty cool. Ooh. I never got to go snowboarding when I was younger, much as I wanted to. I went skiing, which was a lot easier for me. I got to snowboard one time, but I didn't have any professional lessons or anything. I just kind of went and tried to figure it out myself. So after an hour of trying, I ended up going inside because my butt was getting cold from how often I was on the ground. Let me tell you, numbed booty cheeks are not a fun thing. Cheeky says, don't worry, hero, no matter the length, people will appreciate that you're doing it still. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I have met my fair share of people who they want to like Christmas, or they were raised liking Christmas, but some sort of unfortunate event has come at this time of year, and being alone is not pleasant. That's the same kind of reasoning behind Reading Week. I don't know if you've ever heard of Reading Week, or if you have Reading Week where you are, Cheeky, but up here in, I think it's February, we have a holiday or a block of days off called Reading Week that the government and school system put in place because with the occurrence of finals and a bunch of other stresses that happen around that time of year, it was actually really bad time of year for people to off themselves, to self-delete, as it were. And so they're like, hey, we don't want to mention why we're putting this in, so we're going to call it Reading Week. Take the week off, go read some books. Which, for whatever reason, was welcome as a kid, but it is important to have those times. People are not always able to process everything without a little time or a little help. Where are we going? I think this should be the... Oh no, there's a couple more up here I want to get first. I want to kind of light up this whole circle of lightroots, just so that we're not going to end up missing something in the darkness. That is one hell of a pillar. Where did that come from? Huh. Meh. Also, if while we're exploring down here, I find the dragon again, that would be super nice. Because I do still need a talon from him and a fang. No, I need a fang and a horn from Dinroll. Because I got the claw already. Cheeky says, I always say work hard, but rest harder. That is an excellent way to live. You play hard, or you work hard and you play hard. But resting is all the more important. And especially because when you go into something that you like doing, like if you want to go play hard, you still end up burning yourself out if you're doing it after work. If you've had a long day, you come home and you're like, this kind of sucks. I'm so exhausted. Why am I doing this? And then you give up hobbies that you enjoy. And that's super lame. Actually, there's this YouTube channel called Viva La Dirt League. VLDL. I don't know if you've ever seen them. But they do this thing where they do a bunch of different skits and things. And among them, one of them was a skit about when your online video game becomes a second job. So one guy logs in after a long day of work, like 20 minutes late, and the rest of his guildmates that are trying to run the dungeon start harping on him for being late and how he might lose his position because it's a serious thing they've got to take advantage of, and the raid's going to run for the next 8 hours. Oh. And the funny thing is, that's like true. That's a reality. People do that, and I don't understand why. Like, I do kind of understand why. In my case, for example, because of my health and because it's so difficult for me to work, I don't have much else. So I tend to take things a little more seriously than I should when I'm playing games. But by the same token, forcing that on other people is not great. I did play this one game quite a number of years ago. Sorry. It was a Korean MMO called Yiga Online, I believe. And that was the first time I'd experienced like long content for a game, where there was a dungeon we went into that took like 2 hours to get through, 2 real life hours. And while I understand the appeal of something like that, I also think it's kind of silly to not offer rest areas to like log out. Putting everyone on a timer is just stressful. Let's see. Looks like that's all of them there. I think there's only a couple more over in Akala here. Maybe I'll grab these two. Just to finish off exploring down in this area. Because... oh, it's not going to show how many lightroots I have here. I have to load... that's okay. Speaking of tomorrow, I haven't really decided what I'm gonna do all day, but I'm thinking I'm leaning towards just trying to crush one of the older Zelda games, and then starting Blazing Dragons once we're done with Tears of the Kingdom. So I was thinking maybe like Ocarina of Time, because it's got a fond place in a lot of people's memories, but by the same token, everybody has played it to death. I still want to play it, and I haven't played it for a while, so that would be fun. But also, if it's a day where I think people aren't really expecting anything, it would be a nice way to burn it. Ocarina of Time is very good. I am actually a much bigger fan of Majora's Mask, but I do like Ocarina of Time. I've got the re-release on my 3DS as well, but I have no way of hooking it up. Unfortunately, they did not make it very easy to put the Game Boy games onto your TV anymore, let alone to stream them. I remember back in the day when we still had things like the built-in capture cards you could just buy, and it was the Game Boy player or whatever. Those were good days. I miss those days. It used to be so stinking easy to do fun things like that. I'm gonna skip over that. I guess that's the nearest one, probably. If I go around here. I don't know if you were around in those days, Cheeky. I don't know how old you are per se, but I was around for a lot of those different kinds of game systems. So my uncle had the Super Nintendo one, where you just plug it into the top, and then you plug your Game Boy game in on top of that, and the Super Nintendo would run it with like special borders around the gameplay, or the ability to change the colors so that it wouldn't be green. You could have a solid other color. And then there was one for the GameCube as well that you attached to the bottom of it, which was interesting. It added like a little platform, and you slid the game in underneath there. That was cool. It was extra hilarious with all of the peripherals for older games, though. Like, oh, how do we get to that one? Huh, maybe there. I remember the Game Genies for inputting old game codes, how they were entire systems that had to run, like you'd plug them in to your Super Nintendo or your Game Boy or whatever the case was, and you just have this big blocky thing sticking out of the back, which was really hilarious. And your Game Boy would, or your game cartridge would sit completely outside of the game system, just attached to the Genie. I still have a couple of them because it was fun to play with when I was younger. So I've got one for my PlayStation 1. And I've got one for my Game Boy, which was Game Boy and Game Boy Color. I think that's as far back as it goes. Oops. How am I on fire again? Still on fire, okay. But it was interesting getting to experience that. I enjoyed it. Nowadays, you just install mods. You don't need special hardware for it, which is nice. In fact, I think one of my favorite things to do, or at least it was for a while, it was to play Minecraft mods. Because modded Minecraft is really interesting. People put so much effort into it and into making mod packs with quests and things that it's like playing an entirely different game. Which I like, especially because when you don't have a crap ton of money, being able to stretch your dollar across things like that is just amazing. It's the same base content, but you're free to add in and change whatever you want. Right? I'm glad you agree with me, Cheeky. Actually, come to think of it, since you seem to enjoy it as well, do you have favorite Minecraft mods that you play with? Because I have a couple of old reliables that I really like. Botania is really good. I like Botania. Thaumcraft used to be really, really good, but they stopped supporting it after like 1.6, which was sad. I like a lot of the magic mods because they can do interesting things, but I really liked how Thaumcraft had the idea for golems, like the small golems, so many years before Minecraft considered putting the copper golems in. You mostly just use visual and animation mods. That's cool. I like the challenge of tech and magic mods. There's one that's... Actually, let me preface this. There is a series or a genre of mods for Minecraft called Greg Tech, where it basically tunes the difficulty of crafting everything up to 11, where it requires interdependent mods, complex processes. It's a lot more like it would be crafting in the real world rather than crafting in Minecraft. So, like, you may need circular parts for various items you want to make, and you'll have to create a metal rolling machine to roll them into circles in order to accommodate that. Or you'll need to process copper into wires using wire cutters or a wire extrusion machine. Something like that, you know? Metal extrusion machine. You'll need to craft plates. Sometimes you need machines that are like in a 16 by 16 grid rather than a 2 by 2. Circles of Minecraft indeed. My sister was a little weird about Minecraft with her kids. She didn't want them even playing on survival mode because of the zombies and witches. So they never learned like how to appropriately do lighting in their bases and things. Just torches haphazardly placed everywhere. But when I was talking to her about it, I was like, sis, are you serious? You're not gonna let them play survival mode because of this? In a game where the most magical thing that exists is a circle? Like, even for my cowardly ass, that's a little too far. Ooh. My throat is super sore today, my goodness. Health issues are the worst. I think... Oh, yeah, there's another lightroot over there. I think we've overexplored this area. That should be underneath Zora's domain. But that's okay, because now we know where all of these shrines are, which is good. We're going to go do the actual dungeon here. Now that we've finally cleared up enough space around it. I don't think I'm going to do all 120 shrines or whatever here, but it never hurts to know where they are. I think I've mentioned it before, but I did put in the effort a couple of times to do the entire underground before I reset. And it was cool, but I was kind of annoyed with how slow it was and the fact that I still hadn't made any progress as a result. That's why I try and make a balance of underground exploration and above ground exploration. Doing shrines, getting upgrades, that sort of thing. Who knew it would look like this inside Death Mountain? Now that I look closer, I see a whole bunch of those red rocks. Why would Princess Zelda be down here with all this marbled rock roast? Oh yeah, cutscene. Been a while since I've watched this one. Games just be like that sometimes. That's true. I was watching a video yesterday, just a YouTube short that made me giggle quite a bit about how Breath of the Wild, the pilots that you had, because you know how the divine beasts required pilots, and as a result, oh right, I don't have that burrito. They ended up kicking the bucket and you had to go rescue them, or like free their spirits or whatever. Well, with Age of Imprisonment, there's a lot more backstory to them. And this guy was like, here's a funny thing for you. The only person that's completely useless in Breath of the Wild as a result is... Oh, hey, did I miss that? I did miss a single lightroot up here. Is Revali. Like, he's not part of the bloodlines that lead back to the sages from the Age of Imprisonment. He's just a dude. He's just a bird that's cocky and learned through hard work. He earned his spot piloting the Divine Beast by his own skill. Which is cool, but also hilarious that the game is just, or that the video was just like, yeah, his bloodline is worthless. He's just that guy. Because he was kind of cocky, but honestly, he did earn the right to be. He kind of kick butt with his own skills. He created and he practiced. The others just kind of inherited power from their ancestors. But he's like, no, I am special all on my own. I am creating this. Let's see here. Oh, right. Oop. Do I hear the dragon somewhere around here? I thought I heard it. I could be wrong. Get back here, Goro. Where'd that drop? I kind of need that. Uh-oh. Where did it drop? That's less than good. It must have fallen into the deep lava. Okay, it's destroyed. I don't have much zonite left. It's kind of not great to lose that. Also, I think I found a better way to make my my rock-destroying cannon cheeky. I think. I haven't practiced with it. I just think it might work. You know that U-shaped piece that I've got on my tank to protect me? I think if I use that instead of just a controller or instead of a spike to hold the wheel, it'll probably protect me a lot better from the explosions in case I mess up. So I kind of want to try it. I know there's not really a point to going to do that anymore, but like once I get this guy, I don't think there'll be a point anymore. What do I have here? I have one stabilizer. Do I have any big wheels? I do. Okay, let's do this. Take out, take out, take out. Oops. Because that was my big issue with that. You want to see Hero's magical rotating cannon? That's okay. I didn't mean to take out a big battery. Those are rare. Oh well. The stabilizing wheel is down here. That's why. I think it's a really good idea. I think I'll get it working. It's just like most things, it takes a little process and a little thought. Neither of which I think count at this very moment for the way that I just let this stuff roll off. There we go. But if I can build it, I think it'll be a real big advantage for the early game. What do we got here? Put you here. Bring you over here. I don't like that the stabilizer has a face like this. It weirds me out. Stop it. Okay, stay there for like 3 seconds, please. I just don't want you rolling off or tilting for 3 seconds. There. Okay, good. There we are. Hooray. Anyway, like I was saying, I think it'll be a big advantage if I can get it figured out. I just haven't gotten it figured out yet. It was really a very temporary kind of device. Even this one, like, why won't it turn? I don't like that. And it's a device that people didn't really make before either, so there's no, like, good plans for it on the internet. I'm creating it completely blind because I think it would be helpful. Speaking of, I'm going to create one more wheel on here. There. Close enough. I wonder why no one else has made it. It's a good question. I mean, they have made things that are, like drills, basically. Which I would also like to learn how to make. But there is something called a construct drill. So, like, the giant constructs that you make, or that you fight, like the tier 3 constructs, when you defeat them, they drop these things called construct cores, and the third one is like a giant mass of 3 different pillars, and the pillars are like covered in spikes, and they rotate by themselves. So people have put that onto a rotor piece and powered it with electricity so that it just spins in a circle and it crushes a bunch of the rocks. And you can just drive into them, which is cool because it's not risking blowing you up. But I haven't figured out how to do that yet. So I think a cannon is a much easier way, especially if it's like cheap to build and easy to drive around, so you don't have to get out and find other pieces. Which, admittedly, the cannon that I designed is not. But the ability to aim it is a pretty cool feature. Alright. I have only done this dungeon once, so I don't fully understand where everything is. I'm going to be going in blind. I'm sorry if this is not going to be as smooth as the other dungeons that I have done. Or the other things that I've done. Where are we going? Uh-oh. Come on. There we go. Back on here. There we go. Thank you. I think that's about enough of that little device. I didn't need more than that. I can't wait to be able to toggle him on and off so that he's not in the way anymore. I am really low on zonai though. I haven't gone to actually farm for quite a while. Take out... Do I still have some fans? I do. Thankfully, this temple is open enough that we can just do this, and then soar over a bunch of the bullcrap. As long as I don't hit any of the pillars and knock myself into the lava, because that would be bad. Oh. That's less than good. No, my bike. So much for that. Okay. I'm gonna need to swing a little wider here. Oh well, indeed. It's okay, we can still make this work. I know because I've done it before. I just gotta not be in some of the worst places. I am looking forward to being able to toggle him off, though. I understand they wanted to create a bunch of personalities and things for these characters, but they made some very annoying personalities for these characters. Yes, I know. I gotta hit the giant gong. Thank you. Get on there. I love these stupid faces. They're funny. I've never really understand how, or I've never understood why people in Japan use these verbal tics as character traits. As far as I'm concerned, they are not exactly interesting or endearing qualities. No. Okay, I really need you to go away. Please and thank you. There we go. Especially because I started out learning Japanese with Naruto. Because the Japanese that they used was very, very simple in comparison to a lot of other anime. Like Evangelion, I watched, but it was all really weird, super technical stuff. And that makes it very difficult to be able to actually, like, understand what's going on or learn new terms. And yet Naruto decides to make their main character have a verbal tic. Completely throws off the ability to learn from it. Come on. One Piece does it too with their weird temporary villain arcs. Although One Piece has the stupid laughs as their character traits. I don't know if you've ever watched any of those, Cheeky, but like their big thing is villains having silly laughs, like horo 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 horo, or zah, stuff like that. You know, like just no reason at all to actually laugh like that. Aside from the fact that they're trying to give personality to their villains. Which, I guess it works, it's just silly. I think silly is a good way to put it. It's an anime, they gotta make it over the top. I mean, kind of, I guess. By the same token, I know a lot of really good anime that are not over the top. Does it have anime boobos? Hey, Jacob. One Piece? Very much so. I would be surprised if you did not know anime had that. Oh, are you talking about the ones... Because Valios, I think, liked that butt battle anime. I didn't like it, but I did watch an episode to determine that I didn't like it. And yes, I know it was Keijo. It was weird, and that's all I can really say about that. Also, hi, welcome in. Thank you for joining. How you doing? So nice to see you today, as always. Where is this again? Oh, I gotta get back inside. Hoping you all a warm holidays. I'm in Canada, so that is very much not a warm anything right now. In fact, it is the opposite of a warm anything right now. We just got probably like 1.5 feet of snow overnight. I went out to make a coffee this morning and my car was buried in it. A cold and grueling holiday indeed. How do I get up there? How's your day going, friend? Is the weather freezing your butt off where you are? Or are you fortunate enough to not be chilly beyond words? How do I get up there? Oh, over there maybe. There's a hole in the wall. think that's a hole in the wall. That is not a hole in the wall. It must be in here, but I don't know how to get in here. You're doing well, having a warm cup of champorado. You have used another word I am unfamiliar with. What is a champorado? Is it like hot chocolate? Of some descript? Champorado, I'm not really sure how to pronounce that. Okay, so there should be something in here, too. Think spiced Mexican hot chocolate thickened with rice and... Thickened with rice and corn flour? Whoa! That is certainly an unusual combination. So basically horchata and spiced Mexican hot chocolate. Okay, let me... let me change the question that I was going to ask then. So, do you, like, boil the hot chocolate with the flour? Oh. So that the flour cooks through? Or, like, how do you use that? Because I would have no idea how you would thicken hot chocolate with flour. I don't need the strong one. Get out of here. I can't even imagine how you would thicken hot chocolate with flour. Like, I know you can make a roux with it, but you do have to mix and cook the roux. Some people do that, yeah. I toast some all-purpose flour and blended rice, toasted in oven with star anise, cloves, and cinnamon. Cool. And then you just mix it in with the chocolate, rather than boiling them together. I'm very curious about this, because I've never even made a roux or a white sauce before, but I don't know what to do with that. Then I make a blend of sweetened condensed milk, evaporated milk, and half with Abuelita chocolate mix. Okay. Oh, right, I just opened this. I knew that. I knew what was in there. So actually, come to think of it, while you're typing, I'll ask this question, but come to think of it, you're saying you toasted the all-purpose flour with star anise, cloves, and cinnamon, but wouldn't it even out the application of the flavor if, for example, you made a tea out of those ingredients, like the star anise, cloves, cinnamon, and then poured it over top of the flour, so that you made sort of like a little cake you could then crush up afterwards? Then I boil that in a non-stick pan, then add the spiced flour mix little by little until you get the thickness you enjoy. Think a hearty soup, but it's sweet and corny. Okay. So kind of like a stew as opposed to hot chocolate, just without veggies and stuff. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I can't take more pieces of this armor off. This is not so good. Stop it. Give me this. Actually, I want a different one-hander. Hold on. Thank you. Good job, Yunobo. There we go. Sweet and corny is how I describe Hero. I will take that as a compliment, Cheeky. And biscotti dunkable. That's cool. That's cool. But yeah, wouldn't it, just out of curiosity, wouldn't it make more sense to... Velius's puns are amazing. Good one. I like that. That's a good corn joke. But just out of curiosity, because I don't know if you've ever tried it, wouldn't it make sense to boil the water into not a syrup, but like a tea of some sort, and then make a little flour bread out of that and then grind that into a powder? Because I could imagine it wouldn't be too hard to grind a lightly baked bread into a fine powder to mix in instead. And it would probably have a lot more of the flavors that you wanted soaked in by toasting, wouldn't it? Purely curiosity. Don't know. Why did you aim up, dude? Why did you do that? That was so dumb. Oh. I didn't realize I could just grab him. Let me mix something with the Master Sword here. Where are we going? That's alright, but let's try by fuse attack power. That's a good one, but I don't want to do that one because I can't take it off. Silver Lionel, white maned Lionel. That's 40. We'll use this one. Maybe I don't want to piss off my friends Abuela. That's fair. That's fair. And to be honest, like, it is really just an off-the-hand thought, because I kind of suspect that once it's toasted like that, it'll lose its ability to soak up the, or to be absorbed into the hot chocolate mix. Which, in that case, would make it very difficult to get the right thickness or consistency. But I was talking to my dad the other day, because my dad is Portuguese. Like, he's full-blown Portuguese, and he used to make me this dish for breakfast that was thick Portuguese bread, not cornbread, just like white bread that was very dense. And we just pour hot chocolate over it and eat that like cereal. So the bread itself was chopped into small pieces very finely. And it was delicious, but it's really hard to find that type of bread at any store. And it's not as prolific to find a Portuguese store as opposed to like an Italian store. And of course the cuisines are a little different because they're not in close proximity to each other. So it is tough finding some of those memory things for me. Also, is sweetened condensed milk good? I keep thinking it might be interesting to keep cans around for, like, emergency supplies, but I don't know how long it'll last, and I don't know if you can actually, like, water it down to get a milk-like consistency after. So good. Okay. Forever? Fair enough. Why am I bringing this in? I'm not going to be able to use this in the fight. Can I take a piece of this off is a good question. Yeah, okay, good. Actually, do I have enough to make a flame-proof potion? Oh, here we go. Before I do that, I'm actually going to do this, just to make my life a little bit easier. Materials by type. Because I did get one fireproof lizard. We're going to hold that. We're going to put in a monster part to make an elixir. Which I think I've got some teeth, as gross as that is. There we go. And I should still have an unused piece of dragon somewhere. Here we go. A piece of Ferrosh's horn. I think that's my only dragon piece, but I did need it. Yes. We're going to do this. And that should give me like a half-hour flame-proof potion. There we go. So now I can take this off, give myself all of my damage, and just drink the potion. There we go. Now I'm ready for the fight. Yunobo, get over here. Whee! Again, I've only done this fight once. Again, I've had this game for like 510 hours now. I've played it. And I've only done this fight once. So if I suck like when I fought Yunobo, don't hold it against me, okay? This is still technically new to me. Also, I didn't make any food. All I have are my apples still. I gotta deal with that. Come on, get back here. Oh, still charging, still charging. That one? No. You gonna collapse now? It collapsed. Good, 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 good. Smack, smack, smack. Haha! He goes down quickly with my setup. Uh-oh. This one maybe? Gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Will that hit? That is not going to hit. Okay? You know, we'll stop going around in a circle. Get back here. Uh-oh. Again. Oh, actually, just before I keep doing this fight, how is the audio level? Can you hear me over the music and stuff? I noticed when I was doing my testing that I was, like, getting drowned out by some of the combat sounds. And I don't want the music and explosions to be overbearing. That way, maybe? Let's get out of here. Yeah, audio is fine? Okay, cool. Thank you. Okay, so that kind of paused him. Can you drop off, please? Uh-oh. Thought I was supposed to knock his legs off the roof, but he's not letting me. How about, like, right up here? Will that work? Nope, he just bounced off. Okay. Get me out of here. Stop moving. Let me bash you off the ceiling. Okay, how about that? Does that one work? There. I bashed one leg. Hooray. And he dropped. Excellent. I knew there was an easier way to do that. It just took forever to do. Hooray. One dungeon. Rock crab indeed. Are you feeling it now, Mr. Crab? Again, I've never even watched SpongeBob. Like, I've seen maybe 2 episodes and didn't really like it. But the memes that came from that show were very good. They were funny. Gimme. Wow, that fight took less than 3 minutes. I made a 30-minute flame-proof potion, and that took less than 3 minutes. Touch. But I think, actually, there is that shrine up on the mountain that I should do then. Did you stuff that in your pants? I don't know if I want to touch it anymore. I really like that rock garden look to the ground in a lot of the shrines and things. It's very pretty. Many years ago. This kind of recap from an individual perspective reminds me really heavily of A Link to the Past, which I don't think I've actually played, but I've seen Game Grumps play it a lot, and they did the same thing where all of the girls that were captured in the temples told their own version of the same story over and over again. Excuse me? You 2D Zelda? Jacob, some of the 2D Zeldas are the best Zeldas. Like, if you were saying I don't think you played the good ones. I loved Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages, for example. Those were amazing games. Personally, I think they were some of the best in the series. Bah, humbug. Have you not played them? They were so good. Especially Oracle of Ages, because it was a lot more puzzle-like. You had to use your brain for a huge amount of it. And then Oracle of Seasons was the power one, where you could brute force a lot of things and it was more focused on the combat. But I thought it was cool that they introduced those differences. Not like Pokemon, you know, where there isn't really a difference between games aside from the 8 Pokemon that were different throughout it. They actually went through the trouble of making 2 entirely different games that link together, and I like that. Well, you know, 3D Zelda has some good ones, like Ocarina of Time and Majora and Wind Waker. And Wind Waker. That's true. Yep. And I do have all of those. We will play them eventually. Oh. Fair enough, fair enough. That is pretty funny. Ah. I think the only Zelda game I don't really have right now is Age of Imprisonment, and I don't have the not Wind Waker. I don't have the Link's Awakening remake. Oh, actually, I don't have that new Zelda one either. The one where you play as Zelda. I've forgotten what it's called, but it's the one where you play as Zelda and it's in Link's Awakening style, the remake style. And she, like, summons items with her magic wand, or monsters with her magic wand. I can't for the life of me remember what it's called. But I don't have that one either. And Link's crossbow training. I guess there are weird offshoots too, like there's a Tingle game that I never played and I barely know it exists. I don't know if you were aware of that one, but that's a thing. I would find it hilarious if he went to grab this stone and he just grabbed it too roughly in his excitement and crashed it. Or like embedded it in his hand and he was like, ow, crap. That spike is painful. The spike is painful. Now I can say Goro twice as much. Isn't that an awesome power? Fist bump. Hold on, I didn't hear that before. He doesn't call himself Yunobo, he calls himself Yun. I don't know if they've always done that. Interesting. I do find it hilarious when they change character names to make them easier for Americans to pronounce. One of the most egregious examples is the original series of Digimon. I don't know if you guys ever saw that one, but like they changed all of the names to make them simple for kids. So Hikari became Kari, and Taichi became Tai. Mipha's Grace was nice, especially with how short of a cooldown it was. That backup fairy effect with the full health was very nice sometimes. But I think it was basically a gimmick since Breath of the Wild was so new to Zelda fans. That's fair. That is fair. Let's face it though, it would have been much better used in Tears of the Kingdom, because Tears of the Kingdom has such a vicious damage gain. Like, the enemies do so much damage here. If I had something like Mipha's Grace to save my ass, I wouldn't have been as frustrated trying to get through this game as I was. Because I think... Did you see me fighting all the Lynels the day before yesterday, Jacob? I don't know if you did or not, but... Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. I went into the Colosseum because I needed Lynel Guts for the 4th tier of the pants. And, the very first time I played Tears of the Kingdom, I found my way down there really early because of its proximity to Central Hyrule. And I'd played so much Breath of the Wild that, I was well-versed in fighting Lynels, so I just kicked their asses with next to nothing for equipment. But it took a long time. And unfortunately, with all of the headshots and perfect parries and parry rushes that you needed to do to fight Lynels, I ended up increasing my world level difficulty so much that I couldn't even get to the points where I could improve my armor, because everything was one-shotting me. Even one-shot protection didn't really help, because if there were 2 bokoblins, I was just dead. Something would get a lucky shot off, and I couldn't do anything about it. And until you learned about the auto-hand apple grabbing, it became almost impossible to get any sort of food. Oh, it was rough. And that was the first time I restarted playing Tears of the Kingdom, because I could not progress. I literally could not keep enough fairies in my back to do anything. Hooray! 1 temple done. Now, let's see. Up on the mountain here, there should be this temple, I think, or this shrine that goes inside the mountain where it's really super hot. So we're going to take advantage of this 30 minutes of heat proof that I've got and try and deal with that right now. Yeah, this one. And let's disable him right this second. Aw, crap. Switching to lurk mode, my squad's online for Ark. Alright, no worries. I will probably stop playing in about 15 minutes anyway. But I thank you for being here. It's always nice to have you. I hope you have fun with Ark. And one of these days, Jacob, don't forget to let me know when you're in the mood to play Helldivers. And then we can at least be on at the same time and exchange friend codes. Because I'm pretty sure they change, and I can't just, like, send you mine in a DM. And it makes it very difficult to play with you that way. I never know when you're on, so we can't get together to do it. Democracy waits for no one. Just give me some time slots and let's do it. Yeah, man, I am available all the time except when I'm streaming. Just hit me up in a DM and be like, hey, I want a hell dive. I'll be like, okay, let's do it. That's as simple as it is. Alright. For now, enjoy Ark, have fun, I will talk to you later. And thank you for being here, as always. Do I have... There's a fan right here, that'll do. Alright. I think... Oh! Well, hello, Rocketer. Thank you very much for joining. And for the raid. I appreciate you being here. How you doing, friend? And hello to you as well, Battlecat. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you coming along with the raid. How are you guys doing today? Oop. Apparently I am not that flameproof. We're gonna do this right away, and then I'll get rid of helmet, maybe. No, I'll get rid of this one. I'm doing alright, thank you. Okay, well, if I'm gonna be on fire anyway, I'm gonna max out my damage. There we go. What were you just playing, Rocket? I'm sorry I didn't have a chance to ask until now. I was busy trying not to get my butt kicked by that Talus. And did it go well? Because if I remember correctly, you just got Arc Raiders and Helldivers from a friend. Chillin', had Arc Chaos, so I'm here for Zelda, fun Zelda and Link shenanigans. Cool, cool. Have you managed to play Helldivers at all yet? Because I'm pretty sure you said your friend gave you both of them. But, Brainer hasn't been playing Helldivers at all. Okay. Yeah. I don't have Arc because, I mean, you've heard me talk to Brainer about it a lot. I can't put up with the betrayal. It would make me entirely too sad and paranoid trying to live with that. So I just don't play Arc. I wouldn't even buy it. I'll watch Brainer play it a lot, but it is not my type of game. Helldivers, on the other hand, that's fun. We do that a lot. But how was stream? What were you playing on stream, come to think of it? I guess Arc Chaos means you were streaming Arc. I should probably have interpreted that correctly. Yeah, okay. Let me maybe repair this one. Oh. There we go. Do you have any plans for today other than just hanging out and watching Zelda for now? Gonna jump into more Arc Raiders next? Oh, that hurt! Oh my goodness, that hurt. That was a failed parry. Holy cow. Haven't seen this, so I wanted to relax and enjoy. Cool, cool. Well, you missed out on seeing me do the very first temple, which is... It should have been done a lot sooner, but I prioritized a bunch of other things, so I'm about halfway through the game, to be honest. So, like, I've got the full overworld map discovered, and a whole bunch of the depths map discovered, and done a bunch of the sky shrines. But this is episode like 10 of the series. You're coming in right towards the end of when I usually stream. Tomorrow, I don't know if you're free or busy tomorrow because of the time of year it is, but I'm planning on doing a mental health stream tomorrow. This time of year doesn't exactly lend itself to joyous moments for everyone. Some people have bad memories and things. So I'll be doing kind of a marathon stream for anyone that's not here. At least as much of a marathon as I can manage with my health. There's no pressure to join in at any point, but if you find you have some time, feel free. I might be doing like Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time tomorrow. It's more of an FYI thing than anything else. It will be a nothing special day for people that would prefer it was nothing special. What do we got? Let's try up here. So I don't know if you've ever played Tears of the Kingdom, but it's cool. There are... Actually, I'm going to go down into the depths. There's basically 3 maps in the game. There's the surface map like there was in Breath of the Wild. There's a sky map where things are up above and you have to launch into the sky. And then down underneath Hyrule is basically an exact mirror. So in places where there would be water, there are instead giant impassable walls. In the places where there would be mountains, there are instead giant valleys. And hello! I can't see who said that, but hi! Hey, Nat! Welcome back. I'm surprised to see you now. But no, we are not going for Ganondorf. We did finish the temple, though. We did just finish the fire temple. And I am running very, very low on stuff, so we're about to go back and do a little bit of zonai mining. No, last Zelda I played was the one where you became a wolf, so Twilight Princess. Don't worry, Nat, mostly what you missed was cutscenes. I took the shortcut way and just used my hover cycle for most of it. Ooh, movie date with hubby, that's cool. How did the movie date go? Was it fun? And what did you go see? I am also curious about that. Idiocracy. Wait. You watched that in the theaters? Did they re-release it or something? Because it seemed like fun. No, at home. Gotcha. You think you caught cancer off it? Welcome to Walmart. I love you. Welcome to Walmart. I love you. Oh, not that one. You know, hubby, just because you're singing that, also welcome in. I didn't say hi to you. But they actually... I tried putting that in as a sound effect for Twitch. I wanted that to be for when people raided. They would come in and be able to hear that song, because I think it would be funny to say I need a hero after raiding. But unfortunately, that song is so copyright that I couldn't even put the I need a hero. I couldn't do that. That little like 3-second clip wouldn't let me upload it. Oh, god damn it. Ah, broke a laser off already. That's dumb. And I was very sad about that because I thought it would have been excellent. It would have been a very funny joke. I guess I already beat these guys. Hasn't been a blood moon yet. Well, I don't do any of the holidays, Nat, Christmas included, but thank you for the well wishes. That's part of the reason why tomorrow will be just another day for people like me who also don't do holidays for whatever reason. It is a mental health stream. But I always appreciate the kind thoughts. Thank you very much for that. Whoop. Na, 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 na. Up the hill we go. Don't fall off, don't fall off, don't fall off. Haha, I made it. That is fair. That is fair. Like I said, I do appreciate the well wishes. I do not fault anyone for saying it. And I totally understand when people were upset about changing that greeting to happy holidays or whatever. Because that was a big thing. Everybody stopped saying it and went to happy holidays. And it's like, well, just because you don't do something doesn't mean you have to choose to be offended by it, right? No reason to make other people change what they're going to say or do as a result. But not everyone is as chill as I am in that regard. They can be pretty silly. They like to feel special by being right about things like that. That's fair. That's fair. Yeah. I think I am pretty easy to get along with as a streamer because since I don't do Christmas stuff, I don't expect people to come be like giving away gifts and things either. You can literally just come hang out like it's any other day with no expectation to do something special. And I think that would be pretty cool for me as a viewer to not have people being like, did you guys get me anything? Why don't you want to make this special? Why am I stuck on this stupid platform? There we go. Have a good point. Well, thank you, Rocket. Like I said, it is by no means expected that anyone shows up. I'm just going to be here as an available option for people that don't have anything else to do or would like to not think about the time of year it is. That's all. I am going into tomorrow expecting that I will be completely alone for the entire time, and I am okay with that. So I hope you don't feel pressured to make time to come hang out. I was actually just talking to Cheeky about it earlier, Nat. I was thinking I might use tomorrow's marathon stream time for as much of a marathon as I can do to play Ocarina of Time or maybe Majora's Mask and just get it knocked out in one go. But I'm not sure which one I want to do. I do know that I would avoid Wind Waker for now, because Wind Waker is another one where there's just a lot of travel time and exploration. And that's, I don't want to do that back-to-back with Tears of the Kingdom like this. It's also why I'm not going to rush straight into Breath of the Wild either. But if you have any suggestions or a preference, please do let me know. I can take that into consideration. Don't tell you what to do with your time. Okay, I won't tell you what to do with your time, Rocket. I'm sorry, alright? Just trying to be nice and considerate. But I guess if you don't want me to tell you what to do, I'll just shut my whore mouth. That's something a friend of mine that I play Helldivers with says sometimes. If he's got a suggestion or something, and we're like, yeah, I'm already on it. He's like, well, alright then. I guess I'll just shut my whore mouth. And I think it's hilarious, so I copy that from time to time. Yeah, know your place, hero. Thanks, hubby. Appreciate you. So nice. You guys are just the best to me, my goodness. What would I do without friends like you? No, I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. Is there a Frox here? There is. Let's kick some Frox behind. Where's my... Here it is. I love you too, buddy. Yeah, I can just feel the love. Oops. Let's give you this. And one of these. This one will do. Sorry, just gotta focus on the fight for 1 second here. Whee! Man, he jerked me way the heck off. And I gotta drop this before he jumps at me. Uh-oh! He jumped at me! Oh, he jumped at me. I got thrown way too high up.
That's what she said.
That is what she said. Actually, I don't know if it's he jerked me off. That might be more of what he said. I'm just thinking. Just thinking. Eat a pine cone, you butt. There we go. Thankfully, I put in enough time to my armor that he didn't do much when he destroyed me like that. But it's always a little scary and frustrating to see something like that lunge at you from the ground. He goes from waiting patiently to, oh no, you've been up there too long. And unfortunately, I think I got thrown entirely too far from my tank, which kind of sucks because it looks like it despawned. I gotta put a dragon piece on it. I am unfortunately having to spend a little bit more time in the depths just mining because I am out of basically every piece of zonite I have. Which means I can't create any more devices. And that's not good, because I like my devices. They're good. Also, I don't know if you saw in that, but I did explore a lot more of the lightroots down here. So I know where a bunch more shrines are up top. I don't know if we're going to do them anytime soon, but it is nice having all that extra space. Rocketeer says, my wife gave me a snack because she is making food, but knew I was hungry. How sweet of her. That is very sweet of her. I wish I had people to make snacks for me, but unfortunately, I am ugly and mean, so nobody loves me. Not ugly and mean. I'm ugly and stupid, so nobody likes me. That's what I'll say. So when Ganondorf? Nat, I've only done one temple. Not Ganondorf yet. I still have so much of the map to uncover and so many upgrades I need to get and so many temples I still need to finish. Stop it, hero. You hear what? What do you hear? Oh, hubby's hinting that Nat should go get him a snack. I got you. Where are we? Oh, hubby. Can you get me one while you're up too? I want a snack. I want a snack. Actually, you know what I've been craving lately is fruit. And especially pears. I really like pears. And mangoes. That's true. That's true. Oh, you guys want to know something funny? Or I guess something interesting. I actually had a friend for a while. And she lived in the States. And, oh. This is not a good place to be. And one time she made cookies, and I jokingly said, hey, I want cookies. And so she said, okay, sure, I'll send some to you. And so she tried to mail me cookies from the States. And unfortunately, they got stopped at the border because they were concerned that there might be drugs in them. So they, like, took the cookies that were meant for me and crushed them up and tested them and then put them back in the package and sent them to me like 2 weeks late. So I got stale cookie crumbs out of my friend's goodwill, and I was very sad about it. Yeah. Rude indeed. Oh, I don't have a bow attached. This one will do. Oh. I can do this. Put you back on. Get over here. Oh. You know, Bo, get over here. Don't be fighting things. Come to my side. I need you to... There. Oh, that didn't work. That did not work as planned. Where is he? He's not coming back. He just kind of disappeared. There he is. They should have sent you a box of Oreos at least. That would have been nice. That would have been very nice. Unfortunately, they were not that considerate. Hey, good job. So I got weird stale crumbs, and I was very disappointed because they looked like perfectly good peanut butter cookies, and they just went to waste. And honestly, wasting food is the biggest sin in that situation. Because I hate wasting food. I am indeed Canadian, Rocket, yes. Surprisingly, people don't guess that from my accent. Not usually. But it's not exactly something that I'm hiding either. As a matter of safety, because I grew up in the 90s where the information was, don't tell strangers on the internet where you live. I tend not to give out my precise location very easily. But, you know, I'm not shy about the fact that I'm from Canada. I still think it's hilarious that we went from be careful with your information, don't talk to strangers on the internet, to now suddenly summoning strangers from the internet with our phones and getting into their cars. But I hate wasting food enough that that is not what I wanted to grab. That although I'm not an excellent cook by any means, I did learn to cook by just eating my failures. Let's see, Rocketeer says, I am from USA, and Nat says, but just saying where you were from is fine. Yeah, that's why I'm like, I don't mind being, like, I'm from Canada. I may not use words like a boot, but, you know, I think I am well-read enough that it's not a problem for me to speak. No do to boot it. Incidentally, and just so everyone's on the same page, that is a very specific regional dialect that I do not have or prescribe to. I don't think I've ever heard anyone actually speak like that. Rocketeer says, I got spanked if I wasted food in my household. And I didn't, but I did, although I'm not a great cook, I did learn to cook by doing that. If I decided to experiment with food, no matter how awful it was, I forced myself to eat the result. And that taught me to be very careful about how and what I cooked. I'll still experiment, but I'm a lot better about my experiments. One of the worst that I can think of was, there was a time I tried to make citrus sauce for a for a stir fry, but the problem was my citrus sauce was basically just me pouring orange juice into a pan and trying to boil it down until it thickened up. And let me tell you, that's not a good idea. My eyes burned like you wouldn't believe from the citrusy steam rising from the pan. Yeah, it also just did not taste good at all. But I forced myself to eat it, and since then, I didn't do something that silly. But, oh man, it was not a pleasant experience, let me tell you. I learned that day that while cooking is an art and baking is a science, sometimes you need a little bit of both to not end up with an atrocity. What else do we have over here? Why do I still have a dark spot over here? That's a good question. That's just a shadow, it's okay. So Nat says she got cancer from the Idiocracy movie. Was it really that bad? Like, were you not laughing at it at all? Because I haven't seen the movie itself, but I've seen clips of it, like bits and pieces, that were pretty entertaining. At the very least, I got a giggle out of them. Like, there's that scene where he's escaping from prison, and he just goes over and he talks to the dude, and he's like, yeah, I'm supposed to be getting out today. You're in the wrong line, dumbass. Hey. Back off. Back off. There we go. I think things like that are funny and silly. Oh! Ouch. What? Ow. That's not good. Jump too soon, jump too soon. Why are you guys black moblins? Maybe it was just that one that was a black moblin. It just kind of sucked that sometimes it feels the world might end up like that. That's fair. Rocketeer says, it is a great movie, but it definitely feels like that's happening to the USA, kind of. I have been meaning to ask, by the way, Rocketeer. I think I may have asked you before and just forgotten, but is your name supposed to be Rocketeer? Like the movie The Rocketeer? Or is that a little before your time? They didn't know they were shooting a goddamn documentary back then? Honestly, I just like the fact that it had Terry Crews in it. Did you guys ever see those commercials for Old Spice with Terry Crews in them? They were so weird and they were so good. Muscle! I'm glad hubby saw them. They were hilarious. His muscles like talking to each other. Is that my right bicep pointing to my left bicep? The abdominals one was hilarious too. Oh my goodness. He's playing the instruments with his muscles. There is kind of a funny, they don't make them like that anymore. They don't. You know what else I miss were the old cartoons for kids' toys and things too. Because we used to have really cool and entertaining advertisements that were meant for kids. But at least up in Canada, they put in a bunch of like regulations and restrictions so that you can't advertise to kids anymore. And so all of those cool, zany commercials just completely disappeared. And I can understand why. Like, you don't want kids constantly pestering their parents for every little thing. But by the same token, I miss them. Like, the Nerf or Super Soaker ads were always really entertaining. Or the Capri Suns were pretty cool as well. There was even one weird one that I remember with, like, a trunk monkey that a dude sent out to attack kids being mean to some dude that was driving around. I don't remember what that was for, but it was funny. Your last name is... Okay, hold on. Yes, I typed the Rocketeer, but my Xbox One controller was on the fritz when I made my name, that I didn't change it because of the funny story of that, and my last name is Rocket. Cool! Well, I'm glad I'm not just nuts, because I remember the Rocketeer, and I thought it was a cool movie, and I'm glad that your name was based on it. See, I never knew there was a comic series about it, but I loved the movie. It was cool. I liked his helmet, too. It was a very simple helmet, but it was neat. They don't make them like that anymore, Gamer Hubby says. And the Trunk Monkey was an insurance commercial. I got you. Insurance that's better than a Trunk Monkey. Gotcha. See, I've talked about this a couple of times, but we did have where I was a regional commercial that was I thought it was national. I thought everybody had seen it. Turns out it was purely local, but it was for the dairy farmers and like milk producers. And it was just this catchy little jingle that has never left my head. It was before DC and Marvel, I believe. That's fair. That's fair. Like before they became companies, or before they started releasing things? Actually, while he's typing that out, yeah, so this regional commercial was just a little ditty that has never left my head. And it's like, peanut butter, ham sandwiches, pancakes, no, jam sandwiches, pancakes, and hammered radishes. Heaven knows. Ooh, voice crack. Anything goes with milk. Homogenized skim 1 and 2%. Always so good, so cold and wet. Heaven knows. Anything goes with milk. It was the catchiest little tune. And I saw it a couple of times when I was like 10, 11 years old, and it has just never left my head. Before they were big comic companies. Got you. Okay, okay. $175 is not bad. That's almost 20 hover cycles. If I can grab just a couple more to even out to 180, I will be happy. Oh, I do not want these things. I could probably go get a little bit more battery power though. And even out to an entirely new battery. 260? Yeah, let's go do that. Oh, I can go get my travel medallion working too. Nat, did you ever get your travel medallion working in Tears of the Kingdom? Or is that another thing you just kind of missed? I think I would bet that you missed it. Because it's found in the same place as one piece of Yiga armor. Your wife made mac and cheese. Oh, that sounds so good right now. See, I was a little late this morning because I had a rough night. On top of my cough and all of my other painful experiences and things, I have like super overactive stomach acid, and so I ended up having an acid reflux attack throughout the night, and my throat is kind of bathed in stomach acid, and it hurts like hell. But as a result of that, I woke up late, and so I haven't eaten anything yet. I made myself a coffee, and that's about it. Yeah, it's not great. I got a lot of health problems. I kind of got like gout. I've got a bummed leg. I've got the perpetual cough and the stomach acid. To be honest, a cup of coffee a day is not going to do much to it. I don't know if you've seen just how strong stomach acid is. But it doesn't matter if I'm just drinking water or if I'm drinking coffee. It's potent enough that it's not going to change much. And hubby says Hero got 99 problems and like 80 of them are health related. You're right. Also, much like the correct terms of that song, a female dog of a companion is not one of them. Anyway, so to get the travel medallion net, you had to go up to the Akala region, and then where Robbie's old telescope place is, there's Yiga using it as a hideout right now, and then the busted travel medallion is in a chest in there, and just out in the open, so it's easy to grab, but it's busted, and you can't reactivate it until you've done first the depths quest with the camera here, and then he'll go back to his lab once you've beaten at least one dungeon. Yeah. So the actual thing is right up here in the far northeast, the Akala Ancient Tech Lab. And we got to do this quest first, which gives us access to the camera. And after we do this quest, he'll just kind of hang around until we've beaten the first dungeon. And then we can go get the travel medallion for him. He'll repair it. That's the word I'm looking for. And that says, honestly, I have 50 hours of mostly main quest stuff and me just being lost in the map. That's fair. And Rocketeer says, I have CP, so I understand problems. CP is in cerebral palsy. I'm assuming. CP doesn't stand for ads. Okay, see you in a minute. I'll have to ask that question again. Oh, man. I'm not going to throw in the joke about CP not standing for ads, though, because that was not very good. I don't feel bad about it, but I shouldn't have said it. Ta-ta! I'm surprised Nat and Gamer Hubby are still up, though. Did you just come to hang out with me and you're waiting for me to get offline before you go to bed? One of your worst, Hero. Good job. Well, thank you, Cheeky. I'm glad you appreciated it, or rather didn't appreciate it. Where are we going? Down to the depths. We came to hang out and play a bit of games. Cool. What are you guys going to be playing? I'm just surprised, because usually you're in bed by now. But I guess if Ian is going to be up early to try and open presents or something, he would probably be waking you up whether you wanted to or not. Today is a later day. Cool. Where is Mr. Man? I think I have to go out here for him. I don't want to, I don't like feeling like I'm keeping tabs on everyone by asking questions like that, but I hope it shows that I actually do care and try and remember your schedules and things, because you guys are important to me. That's what I get at when I'm asking things like that, is just, hey, I pay attention, I'm a friend, I'm not being a jerk, honest. Trying to be considerate of schedules and things. You're welcome. I do try. Oh, good. I mean, there are a lot of weirdos on the internet with, like, parasocial behavior, and I don't want to come across as one of those people, and it's always a big concern for me. I try and keep everything in mind, and, you know, when it comes to things like blueprints, you've seen just how deeply ingrained a lot of the things that I learn are. So sometimes people think I'm keeping track of them or whatever, when really I just have a decent memory for things like that. Welcome back, Rocketeer. I appreciate you joining again. Just before you went into ads, or just as you were going in, I was trying to ask if CP, when you said that, stood for cerebral palsy. I would imagine it does. I'm just not sure. Where is this dude? Shouldn't he be here? Did I have to come in from above? Maybe I had to come in from above. It does. Okay, good. Sometimes there are weird acronyms for things, or like multiple acronyms. Like I know someone that has POTS, which I think stood for post-orthostatic hypotension syndrome or something like that. But it's easy to make jokes about it also being pots and pans, so I have pots too. Not a good thing to say, but also pretty funny depending on who you're saying it to, if you know them well enough. Not everyone has the same number of health conditions or have lived with them for as long as I have, though. So it's also very easy for them to still be depressed about health conditions and not be able to laugh at them. Yeah. I have a mild case, so my leg on my right... Oh, your leg and hand on your right side, not fully as debilitating. That's fair. That's fair. But it seems like you've probably been dealing it for long enough that you can laugh at it as opposed to being sad about it. Or at least as opposed to being angry about it. Playing games with one hand is cool. That's actually very impressive, to be honest. Did you ever look into getting one of those adaptive controllers that's like you still have the controls of your left hand, but then you have like a foot pedal for your left foot as well? Because I've seen people do that before, where they'll use unusual controllers to make up for it. Okay, good. Good. You've made fun of it all the time. That's good. There was a time when I first started getting, like, severely injured, and I was not a pleasant person because I was constantly sad and feeling down about myself. But everybody kind of has to go through that when it's something new to them. Unfortunately, when your life changes, you go through a very depressive, aggressive period. And you just never know at what point in that process people are at. So I didn't want to be pushing a little too hard with the jokes about it. I am definitely at the point in life where it's like, I could be sad about it, but what's the point? I learned how to use one hand as the controller, so I don't want to have to relearn. Totally fair, totally fair. But I am curious, like, do you have it strapped down to something so that it doesn't slide around on you? Because I don't think I'd be able to enter multiple inputs with one hand. Like reaching over towards... No. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think that would drive me crazy. It would be sliding around, like, all over my leg. And that would drive me nuts. Especially with games like Tears of the Kingdom here, I don't think I could play this one-handed. I am, just for fun, going to try it for a second, and I don't think it's going to end well. So you said left hand is still good, right? Your right hand holds it, but can't do the buttons. Oh, okay, okay. But left hand is still good. So, like, my thought is pinky on the left stick and right, or my index finger for the camera. But then how would I actually... Wow, when I'm trying to do it like this... I forgot, I ran into the cutscene. When I'm trying to do it like this, the camera controls feel inverted. It's not moving as I feel like it should when I'm trying to do that. That's an interesting problem to have. Or an interesting challenge to overcome. We'll put it that way instead. I'd be interested, sure. Okay, do I have to talk to him? Okay, BRB. Okay, so heading off to the west. I should have been in the right area. I do. Yeah, I know. Okay, thank you. So, maybe I was just in the wrong spot then? I mean, I suppose that's a possibility. How is the Palia going, Nat? Also, what is Hubby playing? I am curious what Hubby's at right now. Last I heard, he was playing Dead Space. Unless he's playing Outer Wilds for achievement hunting right now, but I hope not. Ooh, Loop Hero. I have Loop Hero. It's pretty good, but I end up dying a lot. The boss fights are a little more difficult. Completed Dead Space 100%. Awesome, possum. Good job. So did you get that finger gun then? Was I right about that? I was pretty sure there was a foam finger gun. Okay, good, 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 good. It looked hilarious with the fact that you just pow and then you reload your finger. Trigger goes bang, shoulder goes pew. Spam shoulder for pew pew pew. Neat. And he does make the sounds himself, doesn't he? Like, I was pretty sure that was one of the things, is he actually, like, makes the sounds of the gun firing. Yep, that's a thing. Good, good. I haven't played Dead Space. The only thing I know about it is at some point I saw that added in as, like, the best gimmick weapon in a video games list. Another one that I saw was... What was it? There was a particular game where they had, like, a unicorn as a gun, and you held it backwards, so you shot rainbows out of its butt to kill things. I've forgotten which game that was supposed to be, but I'm pretty sure that is also a thing. A very silly thing. Yeah. What was it? Was it in... It might have been a Gears of War weapon. Possibly. Either Gears of War, which would be appropriately silly if you found that, or just like a random weapon you could find in Borderlands, because Borderlands always had that weird kind of weaponry as well. You know, I actually have Borderlands 1, 2, and I think maybe 3 on Steam, but I've never played the first one, and the second one I already owned on... What was it, PlayStation, I think? I think I owned the second one on PlayStation already. But I got them on, like, one of those Humble Bundle deals. I haven't gone to Humble Bundle in forever. But it used to be great. Rhinos are heavy-plated assault unicorns. That's fair. That is fair. And Ace Ventura is already capable of using them as a tank. At least he's inside of them. Oh, right. I gotta talk to Robbie here. Created a sensor to detect them. The only thing I can set up at Lookout Landing. East of Necluda in Hotano Village. Alright. Now I think if I just put this together... Oh, I can't yet. Well, what the heck? There should have been... Maybe I just need to talk to her first? No. How odd. I don't know why she's not... Or I don't know why he's not ready to head back yet. Maybe we'll try and reload the area? Oh, I was watching some shorts on YouTube the other day, and it came up with Christmas with the Cranks? No. Christmas Vacation, I think. I saw a clip of that, and then yesterday when I was visiting my parents, they had it playing on the TV. And I totally forgot that that was a thing. Here we go. So, I had to reload the area, and it caused this new tablet to show up. Oh, thank you, Rocket. I will have a look at them as soon as I'm off stream here, because unfortunately, I've got to keep it on a different input to actually see the gameplay. Give me the stuff, and then I can tell you about what's down there, because I've already seen it. And I got the auto hand. So much talking, so much talking. But hot air balloon is now in the schemas. Which means I can put this together and then the professor will leave. That's what it is. Oops. And then I can have him in Hateno Village, where it'll get me the travel medallion and stuff. Rocket, you did join the Discord too, right? I'm pretty sure you're there. I was going to ask where you DM me the pictures. I didn't remember if you were going to aim for it on Twitch or on Discord. So much talking. So much talking. Okay. Now, Professor finally going back to his village. Your Discord messages. I don't have your Discord page. Oh, you don't? Fair enough. You don't have to, by any means, Rocketeer, but if you would like, just in the About Me page, there should be a link to Discord. It's a permanent invite you can click whenever you want. And you can just join in, chat. You'll get updates if I'm, like, not going to be able to stream for whatever reason, usually for health-based reasons. But you're free to come hang out and, you know, post things in memes, do whatever. I actually had someone the other day, which I think people were probably surprised about, but he posted his, like, art services, his profile creation stuff in there, and I was thinking about banning him, but also he made sure to put them only in the right places, so it wasn't like he was spamming his art. So I just let that slide. I was like, that's pretty reasonable, to be honest. That's for exactly that reason that we have it split, or that I have it split like that. Which I hope people appreciate. I'm not a jerk that's just like, no, you're not allowed to advertise stuff. How dare you do that? I appreciate the hustle when people go through the effort, and especially if they're trying to be respectful about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not like they came in and joined and just spammed every channel and then left. They were very like, this is a link. It's in the self-advertisement and promo section. This is another link that's in the showing off my art skills. So yeah. Okay, no worries, Rocket. But it should be, just so you're clear, because I don't know where, I don't have commands set up, Nat. I don't know how to do that. I still have many things to set up as a streamer, but yeah, it should just be when you underneath the stream, there's those tabs, and if you go to About or About Me or whichever one it is, Next to the little blurb about what I'm like as a streamer, or what my plan is here, there should be a link to YouTube on the right side of that same dialog box, and then just below there it should also say Discord for updates and notifications or something like that. And you just click either of those links and it should take you directly to either YouTube page or to the Discord login. Discord page in general. Come to think of it, let's go do this first. So, I'm just doing this in advance because the professor is going to send me down here to use my new shrine locating ability, which is pretty silly to be honest, because that's what the lightroots do. But now that I've found it, as soon as he gives me the ability, I don't have to chase after it anymore. And in case you were wondering that, this is where you actually get the travel medallion updated. So it's over here in the southeast corner at Hatano Village, up on this hill. This is his ancient tech lab. And you can upgrade your Puripad in various ways here. Based on how much progress you've made, rather than needing specific parts like in Breath of the Wild, which is pretty cool. So, like, we get the sensor right now. And he leaves you little information pamphlets on the wall, which I think is hilarious. The travel medallion, excellent. Hero's Path mode, which is also good. Sensor Plus helps you find more shrines. Travel medallion. Travel medallion is super nice because it lets you lay down your own personal teleport point that you can warp directly to. So great for setting up new areas you want to glide from, or around ferries that are kind of a pain in the butt to get to. And you just use it from your inventory, so super handy. I think I can actually get up to 3 of them based on how many towers you've used. And because I have all of the towers, I think I can get all of them right away. It's just unfortunately quite a lot of dialogue to get through it. Robbie's like me. He likes the sound of his own voice. 10 map data locations, and I already have those. So give me another one. 15 areas. Awesome! Now I can get the 2nd and 3rd travel medallions. Which means I can just drop 3 points anywhere I want on the map and warp straight to them. It'll save me a lot of time, especially for upgrading armors. I can just have it right at a ferry. Warp to ferry fountains, which will also be nice. Hero's Path mode. What was this one? Data from 15 shrine locations. I've got like 65. It's really annoying that they lock all of these behind doing one dungeon, though. Because a lot of this would have been super nice before I started. And sensor plus. 5 types of monsters. Oh, I can't do this one yet. I haven't taken pictures of monsters. Well, that's alright. Not a big deal. Anyway, with that, I've been playing for almost 3 hours, and my throat is still really sore, so I think I'm going to call it a day here. Thank you very much for hanging out with me, everyone. I always appreciate you making time to come in. I hope you have had a good day and have an excellent day tomorrow. And again, don't feel obligated at all to come spend time with me tomorrow. I'll just be goofing off as long as I can. And thank you, Nat. No, you hubby. I might still take a break to go watch Nat play Palia anyway. Because it's just kind of cool hanging out and not having to stream myself for a while. But, having said that, I will catch you next time. Thank you again for being here. Cheeky, thank you for being here at the start as well. If you're still here, I appreciated you coming in to chat with me. Rocketeer, appreciate the raid. Really nice having you. I'll look at that picture you sent and DM you the invite to the Discord. And yeah, Nat, hubby, appreciate you guys for swinging by after your date night. Blech. All right, see ya.